Hey guys, and welcome to an awesome showdown between myself as the Lizardmen going up against the Great Battle Sea as the Skaven. So starting in the trees, being rather sneaky, making Deathmaster rather proud indeed, are going to be the double Death Runners. These elite warriors are super strong and incredibly versatile. Bonus as infantry, loads of armor piercing, and the Weeping Blades, reducing armor by 50% for up to 10 seconds on every successful hit, making these bad boys very good up against all the elite infantry coming forward from the Lizardmen. They're also going to be having the concealment bombs, making them nice and unspottable, Vanguard deployment and Strider, making them very good here, ignoring all of the terrain penalties. They're also going to be having 30% physical resistance, making them a little bit more tanky than they might be perceived to be. So magic damage here is going to be a bit of a nightmare here for the Death Runners, and it does exist in quite plentiful quantity here for the Lizardmen. So starting at the front, we are going to have 3 units of the Skaven Slaves, backed up by the double Skaven Slave Spears. A little more juicy in the middle pocket with the triple Clan Rats here with their shields. And then for the elite of the elite, 2 units of the Storm Vermin, 1 here on either flanks. Now these boys are going to have halberds for the anti-large and armor piercing, making them very good here up against all those nice large dinosaurs. The same in the middle, 3 units of the Warlock Giselles, the best snipers the game has to offer, and they're going to be supported by the anti-infantry catapults. These bad boys up against cheap infantry, very strong here with that -10 leadership thanks to that corrupted. So, over on the left flank, double of the Wolf Rats here, the armor piercing and magic variant. And for the Lord choice, we are going to have the man, the myth, the legend, Ikit Claw, out of the lab, fresh, ready to go here on his Doom Wheel. He is going to be having the Musk of Fear, alongside the Cracked Call, the Warp Lightning, and the spells of unlimited power. Alongside here, the Brass Orb. So he's going to be ready to wheel and deal here at the front line, doing all that good damage. So for myself, a unit of the Chameleon Skinks here in the front. These bad boys are super sneaky, super irritating, and you know all about them there from Warhammer 2. 2 units of the Chameleon Stalkers. We are going to be firing into the trees. Bit of a mistake there from myself, wasting quite a lot of ammunition. And then we are going to have the double Feral Cold ones. Really love these bad boys. Really cheap at 450 gold. Good armor piercing. The only letdown is going to be that Rampage. No benefits, sadly, as they're not going to be having any riders, but still nonetheless very, very cost efficient indeed. On the front line, speaking about more efficiency, we are going to have 5 units of the Skink Cohort Javelins. The Javelins are really good up against Skaven, as we see this massive bombardment coming forward. That's certainly going to bonk on the front door here. Let's get a little bit of a close look there. Yeah, that's going to be devastating with the front line. That's lots and lots of damage indeed. But the Javelins are very good here up against the front line. They really move through that cheap chaff with no armor rather quickly, and allows them to pour straight into the back there up against all those ranged units and do some really, really good damage. So for the main tank, we are going to have 3 units of the Source Warriors here with shields. For the armor piercing, we are going to have the Cohort of Sotek, one of my favourite units here for the Lizardmen. They are going to be having Unbreakable, Refuse to Die, and Frenzy, making them rather powerful here with poison and then bucket loads of armor piercing weapon strength. In the middle for the magic, we are going to have the Skink Priest of Beasts, here with the transformation of Godon, alongside the Flock of Doom, so nice and cheap and cheerful there. And then in the front, we are going to have the man, the myth, Oxyotl, the Chameleon Legend here, is going to be leading the front line. Bucket loads of armor piercing, poison, and then magical attacks as well. Here with the Master Predator, making him have snipe and unspottable. That is going to slow him down, but it does increase his range, which is, certainly quite nice here for the sneaky Chameleon. So the same kind of deal here on the left-hand side. 2 more of the Feral Cold ones, 2 more of the Chameleon Stalkers, which actually come with physical resistance alongside missile resistance. So they can actually do pretty well in melee combat as well. So a bit of a skip on here. We are going to see a bit of a thunderbolt here in the back, going down on top of my Cohort of Sotek, losing 11 models. I was a little bit annoyed about that. And of course, we are going to be getting the Brass all on top. So just pushing them through, making sure they're not taking too much damage. But a really nice pick off here from Battlesea, recognizing that the Cohort of Sotek is a bit of a threat here, as they'll certainly do quite nice damage up against more of the elite infantry, including the Storm Vermin. So charging forward, we see a bit of fighting here at the front. Death Rise, Stock, and Unspottable going forward. But the Feral Cold ones, they're going to be fighting, but we can see there that the Weeping Blades is reducing them down to only 45 armor from 90, which is a really powerful ability, which is really why I do enjoy using Death Runners. They're very versatile, they're super fun, and they really can kind of bring down armies with a nice core attack. On the right hand side, we do see Skaven slaves fighting here up against the chameleon stalkers, and we hear the shriek in the background. Chaos has been summoned here with a feral manticore. It comes here to the battlefield, ready to get into the backside, and I'm going to be pushing it forward here up against the back line of the Warlock Giselles. Over on the right hand side, we're now going to be collapsing. We do see here the wolf rats do fight up against the feral ones, but they lose rather quickly, supported by chameleon skinks, javelins, and the rest. They're going to drop rather quickly. You can see that fear really does play quite a big part. In the front, javelins fighting up against clan rats. Clan rats should be able to win out the day there on the melee combat, but you can see the javelins doing some pretty decent damage indeed. Catapults falling over the top, given that contaminator, really good up against cheap infantry. A little bit slow for me here. The Saurus Warriors going to be kind of holding there in the back, not really moving into the backside here too quickly. But we can see the Manticore doing some really good work in the back. The Giselles really don't have great melee stats. 16 melee attack, 24 melee defense is really not going to hold here up against the might of a Feral Manticore. Collapsing, we are going to be having some cavalry in the backside. Feral Cult ones are going to be getting on top of the Warlock Giselles. We have more as well pouring into the backside up against the Plague Cult Catapults, as we have the Chameleon Skinks firing in the backside, doing some good damage here. In the middle, Javelin's going to be pushing off some of these Skaven slaves. We have Chameleon Stalkers engaging the Storm Vermin. Not necessarily there to win, but you can see they do peel off. They are going to be distracting in the backside, and now they do manage to get through up against the Warlock Giselle. So now the backline has been compromised. Ike is going to be in the middle, but he really needs to be getting a little bit more involved here. He needs to be cycle charging through the cohort. Refuse to Die has been activated, making sure no models fall here. And if you do part of that up with healing, it can make a very, very strong unit indeed. So in the backside, going to be wavering here with the catapults. We do see the cavalry pouring into the backside, breaking all of these fantastic weapon teams. Storm Vermin do come across to have to fight up against the Chameleon Stalkers, but is it too late is the question. We do see in the middle that the Saurus Warriors going to be fighting up against the Clan Rats. Saurus Warriors should win, but that's some nice magic assistance there in the front side. Saurus Warriors really have some great leadership. The Cold Ones really do fight to the bitter end. Do see it in the middle, still going to be a little bit still here with some of my units. Some going to be fighting, some not. Full javelins here on the right hand side for the Skaven cohorts, but we are going to be shattering some of the Giselles. Skaven Slave Spear is going to be moving off the edge of the map, rampaging here with the Feral Cold Ones, which means I do lose control, but at this moment, not particularly too bothered there in the backside. Giselle still going to be shattering, only one unit left here on the battlefield. We see a Bloken catapult here in the backside, which now shatters. So that's going to be all of the artillery pieces going off the map here, and a nice early ascendance coming forward for myself. Feral Cold One's going to be pouring into the pocket, but one big problem is going to be Ikit Claw. He's looking rather healthy and a bit of a nuisance right now. So 43 kills here for Oxyotl. He's going to be shooting up against Ikit Claw. Not too much damage value, 100 there to his name, but of course he's going to be kind of, you know, in behind all of the Saurus Warriors. He's finding it a bit difficult to find areas to shoot up against Ikit Claw. So a bit of a trap here for myself, coming from both sides. The Feral Cold One's going to be trapping in, using their mass up against Ikit Claw, trying to pin him in as much as I possibly can. Cold One's just going to be charging forward, really trying to pin him in, trying to make sure he can't cycle charge all over my mass infantry. In the backside, Storm Vermin are going to be holding down the fort. They are going to be taking down quite a few units with them, and we see here Chameleon Stalkers, they really have done the job of the day. So we are going to get an ability coming through here. That's actually, I think that's the Crack's Call that's going to be going down on top of the Skink Cohort Javelins. In the middle, we do have the Skink Priest. I think we're going to be waiting here for... Yeah, there it is. We are going to have the second and final summon coming to the battlefield as we charge in the back here with the Feral Cold Ones. Just keeping Ikit Claw busy, making sure he can't stand still for too long. Saurus Warriors pouring into the pocket. The Manticore, yet again, for the second and final time, comes from the realms of chaos to charge down here up against the Mad Lad himself with Ikit Claw. So the right hand side is going to be won here by the Skaven Clan Rats, clearing out some of the Skink cohorts. Some of the Chameleon Stalkers are going to be fighting up against the Storm Vermin. It's going to be physical resistance and armor going up against just mass armor here for the Storm Vermin. We're also going to be having Clan Rats coming in from behind here, you know, doing a pretty decent collapse in total. So Ikit Claw is now looking a lot less of a threat, down to 2,750, getting sniped in the backside here by Oxyotl. More of the cavalry coming across, just going to be pinning in place, just making sure that that Manticore can get in there with that 450 weapon strength and start bonking on the front door. Still fighting is going to be the Death Runners. You know, a lot of people really go, oh, these guys only have 20 armor, but they fight so supremely well and really good here up against Saurus Warriors as well. Bring them down to 30 armor, and then of course with that armor piercing bonus infantry stats, they really can do wondrous damage indeed. So one unit is going to be around my Skink Priest of Beasts. I am going to use a Flock of Doom here in the middle with the rest of my magic, trying to do as much work up against the Death Runners as I can. But the last threats are going to be these Storm Vermin. They're going to be holding on really, really well. Swords Warriors in the backside, cavalry here going to be moving around the map. And we do see that the Death Runners now are going to be broken with Clan Rats in the middle. Ikit Claw does get away. He's going to be down to 1,600 HP. Still going to be getting sniped here by Oxyotl. He's now going to be up to 58 kills with 440 damage value. And managing to get some good damage here up against the big man himself. Ikit Claw is going to be wavering, getting chased here by the Feral Cold Ones. But we do have some returning Clan Rats and more Clan Rats. So 2 units going to be coming forward. Hopefully going to be creating a screen here for Ikit. We actually shatter there with the Feral Cold Ones. Don't quite understand that. Maybe just mass numbers here was enough to push them off the edge of the map. But we do see here Javelin just, kind of keeping busy here for the Storm Vermin. So we can get my cavalry in and round and start compromising up against the big Lord Choice. Feral Cold One's coming in from the right, some coming in from the left as well. Bit of a sandwich effect coming down on Ikit. I really need to make sure that he is kept busy to the side of the map so I can try and clear out the remainder of the forces here of the Skaven. Some of the Chameleon Stalkers and some of the Saurus Warriors here are going to be returning to the battlefield. We do actually have Oxyotl in the water. He is actually aquatic, I believe, so he is actually going to be getting no penalties there in deep water. Over on the right-hand side, we have Feral Cold Ones. They do manage to catch up against Ikit Claw. Balance of power massively in my favour here. We are going to be charging forward. Feral Cold Ones just going to be chasing up against Ikit. A very nice lightning ability there. The spell of Ikit is going to be enough to break one of the units of the Feral Cold Ones. And Ikit really finds a smart place. He's going to go straight into the Storm Vermin Halberds, forcing me to have to retreat there with the Feral Cold Ones. He cycles through, but of course he is going to find the, nice blowpipe of Oxyotl as he shoots up against Ikit Claw, down to 1,200 HP, down to 1,100. Oxyotl is going to be making absolute mincemeat here of the big man in the back. He's going to be cycling up to 203 kills. Ikit really has been a pain in my backside. Balance of power is going to be going back and forth here, really teetering. But we see the break there for Ikit. That's going to be army losses. And GG's and well played to my opponent, Battlesea. A fantastic early access game. I really enjoyed this one. Sadly, I've been really busy with work, so I haven't been able to share as many videos as I would have liked. But still, nonetheless, I thought this was one that I absolutely had to get going forward today with the release of Immortal Empires. So starting here with Battlesea, thank you very much to him. I will be leaving a link down below in the comments, so you can go find his Twitch. But 203 kills, 2,063 damage value there for Ikit Claw. Really nice stuff. 23,200 damage dealt. Really nicely used there by Battlesea, I must say. 250, 320, and 750 there for the Warlock Giselles. Bit of an interesting one, having these 3 plus double Storm Vermin and then a unit of catapults might be a little bit too much. I think here, having a little bit more, maybe just one extra Doom Wheel would have been quite nice to deal with mass infantry. But a lot of players that play newly here to Skaven going up against Lizardmen just expect mass dinosaurs. They expect mass terror to come up against the Skaven to push them away. I think 2 units of the Storm Vermin Halberd and maybe 1 sniper with 1 catapult would have been enough, just in case there were any large dinosaurs. You then could have supported with Ikit Claw, maybe got some more anti-infantry there going forward in the front line. I really like the Death Runners. They really are very strong. I think here we definitely wanted to push them. Certainly, I liked them hiding in the trees, but they needed to prioritize taking down some of these Saurus Warriors. We see 200 kills, 380, 600 for 186, and the other unit didn't really get too much involved. They're going to be very good here up against the mid-tier and elite infantry coming forward from Lizardmen. So from the values, we saw 800 and 1,036 there from the Storm Vermin, performing, head and shoulders way above what I thought they would. Very strong indeed. 460 there for the play called Catapult, with 630, 600 from the Death Runners. Yeah, okay stuff overall. 230 from the Wolf Rat, and 150. They got a little bit caught with their pants down. But 300, 440, 220 there for the Clan Rats, with 13, 75, 68, 73, and 95 there for the Skaven Slaves. For myself, Oxyotl 550, a little bit of a line of sight issue there. There was either Saurus Warriors or Skinks in the way where he couldn't really fire up against the big man himself. So yeah, a little bit of an issue there. I don't know if that's going to be a transition from Warhammer 2 to Warhammer 3. Maybe there's some issues coming over there. Not too sure. Maybe he was nerfed in a way that I haven't been told yet. But 200 there for the Skink Priest. You know, still 200 value plus double Manticore Summon, which is really good at getting in the back and just shutting down the Warlock Giselles. Flock of Doom has been, you know, kind of boosted as well in Warhammer 3, so it was good just to get a couple of those going down. Really good at removing Death Runners, etc. 380 as we saw, 605 there for the Saurus Warriors, 700, 540, 350 and 530 there for the Chameleon Stalkers, with 430 for the Chameleon Skinks. 800, 450, 1070 and 200, so only one unit not paying for themselves. And for the Javelins, 225, 440, 400, 160 and 250. Well, I really hope you guys enjoyed this game. If you did, please smash that like button. Feel free to leave a comment down below and subscribe if you haven't already. Other than that, I've been your boy Logic. Look forward to all the tournaments and, you know, videos coming forward in the future. There'll be lots, I'm sure. So take care of yourselves. See you soon.